Welcome to another episode of Market Landscapes, where we spend some time uncovering the dirt behind the recent developments in the world of finance and economics. I'm Dusty, your guide through the numbers, charts, and occasionally mind-boggling headlines, helping you untangle what's impacting your world. Let's dive right in. This past weekend has been quite a roller coaster in the financial sphere, largely thanks to the ongoing tariff saga. Up first, we have the highly anticipated words of wisdom coming from Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. He's all set to unveil the latest economic outlook, shedding light on the uncertainties swirling around President Trump's recent tariff strategies. With a 10% baseline slapped on most imports and a dizzying 145% tariff on certain Chinese goods, we're seeing quite a storm. The market's been buckling under these clouds of unpredictability, balancing between the specters of inflation and the potential for slowed growth. Powell's upcoming remarks are expected to be both timely and crucial. On a lighter note, there was a brief reprieve for those glued to screens and stock tickers. The U.S. administration decided to exclude smartphones and computers from these latest tariffs on China, giving our tech stocks a healthy bump. Thanks to this little breather, the S&P 500 enjoyed a nice 0.8% lift earlier this week. Still, trade uncertainties continue to loom, with fresh tariff investigations poking into pharmaceuticals and semiconductors. According to Federal Reserve Governor Christopher Waller, while these tariffs are likely to cast a shadow over the economy, the inflationary hiccups could just be a passing phase. This revelation might suggest a pause in any rate hike ventures. Turning our gaze to Asia, the Bank of Japan is bracing for the impact of these U.S. tariff decisions. As its export-reliant recovery feels the squeeze, it's anticipated that the bank will lower its growth forecast during their next policy meeting, maintaining the interest rate at a stable 0.5%. Forecasts will soon be adjusted, and all eyes are on the U.S.-Japan negotiations for any potential tariff exemptions that might change the game. Moving into the Middle East, Lebanon plans some serious talks with international bondholders over its $31 billion sovereign debt. The default from March 2020 still looms large, but the government is focused on reform overhauls within its banking sector and revenue systems ahead of meeting with these creditors. With the upcoming IMF and World Bank meetings, Lebanon's fresh reform narrative will surely be a significant topic. Meanwhile, over in the Americas, the White House is bolstering support for El Salvador and Argentina, aligning with their right-wing populist leaders. President Bukele's recent visit to Washington and the discussions between the U.S. Treasury and Argentina display a strengthening partnership. Argentina's $20 billion deal with the IMF to tackle its financial woes only adds another layer to this political and economic tapestry. Before we wrap up, let's talk investment tips. With volatility reigning, it's key to approach investments with both a discerning eye and a steady hand. Stay informed on how geopolitical shifts, like these tariffs, impact different sectors. Tech stocks show some resilience, but always think long-term and remember, diversification is your best ally against uncertainty. There you have it, folks. Another whirlwind update as we try to make sense of the ever-shifting landscapes in finance. Remember to keep your ear to the ground and your portfolio nimble as we continue uncovering the dirt. Until next time, I'm Dusty, wishing you informed investments and steady returns. Thanks for tuning in.